This is the last one me and my sister are going to be doing because you were just hard to control during these.
Okay.
Look at me. I mean, I'm smart. I make funny jokes.
Okay.
Alright, so we used to... Oh,
hold on. Now I'm ready. I had to get my voice prepared for this shit.
Oh, okay. Jesus. People are going to think you're like 12.
But if you only knew what I looked like, hideous. It's sad. Moving on.
They won't feel bad for you.
No, don't want you to.
So, we used to work at this place many years ago called the Haunted Mill. When's the first year you came in? Because I know
I was like 13. So, 2009.
Yeah, and I didn't come until 2011.
Whoa. That's incorrect. I was 13 in 2007.
Okay, so you started working there in 2007.
Some shit like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember because I made Nat the Banana Ghost in 2009 where you were working at the Haunted Mill. Mom was, I think, asleep and you were at the Haunted Mill. Or, no wait, Mom was going to pick you up from the Haunted Mill. And then I decided to work on Nat the Banana Ghost. But anyway, the Haunted Mill is basically just this famous horror attraction. And I say famous because we see cars coming from all over the East Coast. We see tags from like Virginia, Maryland, New York, all coming to see this pitiful little area. You're not wrong. Anyway, so the Haunted Mill, back when we worked there, was owned by some guy. Don't know if what was his name.
Oh God.
Whisper to me, so we don't accidentally.
I don't remember. His
well,
name.
He's dead, so.
Oh my. Well,
and
dead,
his name,
so.
I think his name was Chris.
No.
Well, let's just call him Chris for the sake of it.
Okay.
So Chris owned a Haunted Mill at that point until he died. I forgot how he died. It either was cancer or...
I think he just died.
People don't just die, you know.
People do just die.
No, they don't.
Your body fails in the end. You just die.
No, they never just say... Look, when you die of old age, they don't say you die of old age. You can't die of old age.
Natural.
You die... No. You die of some kind of, like... It's different for everyone. Like, you're right in the sense that, like, you can't die of, like, a failing organ. But they don't just classify it as, this person just died.
It's natural something.
Natural causes.
Yeah.
But anyway, it could have been just that, too. I remember, it was 2012 that happened, so we thought it was going to be closed, but it was going on anyway. No, it was 2013. I know it was the year I was in Washington.
I did not work there the year you were in Washington.
Oh, alright.
I stopped working there.
Oh, I guess we both did. I didn't have a choice. What was I going to do, fly over? Back then, there were only 5 different attractions. Mall's Crazy Maze, the actual Haunted Mill itself, which is where you and I worked.
House of Eyes.
Yes. Cornwalk. And at one point there was the Haunted Hayride, but that was replaced by the House of Eyes. So last one was...
Terror Trail.
Terror Trail, yes. Yeah, that was a time.
Well, when I first started working there, it was the Hayride, Mall's Crazy Maze, Dark Zone, and the Mill, and Terror Trail.
We still have Dark Zone. They brought that back.
Mm-mm.
You know, it's like this little tent. I'm not kidding. You go there now, they brought the Dark Zone back, but now it's like this little tent of whatever the hell it is. I don't know what exactly is in there. I wanted to look one time, but I really don't know. But now, since the original owner died, it was bought by this person named Kim. Kim's Crypt. She actually owns a couple of horror attractions, so she was for a while they weren't able to make the Haunted Mill better because they didn't have the money. That's why after the owner died, the family decided just to sell it. Stop fiddling with shit. So Kim, when she bought it, she actually had the money to make it better. To an extent.
As good as it's gonna get.
Yeah, pretty much. So she renamed a lot of stuff. Now it's called Kim's Crypt, the Haunted Mill. And it's not called Mall's Crazy Maze anymore. It's called Kim's Crazy Maze. Yeah. And I think she works there, I believe. She's all professional about it. But anyway.
Works in your asshole.
Okay. Works in your asshole, she says. Oh, God. Anyway. But then we had a couple of stories working at the Haunted Mill. This one kid, I'm not going to say his name because we're actually friends with him. He did some illegal substances. He ate some candy. And he had to get his stomach pumped. I remember that. And he never worked in the Haunted Mill since, I don't believe.
I don't think he went back.
Yeah. I think that was the moment he left. I had to witness him fucking collapse on the ground. I was unsure what the hell happened. They had to close down and everything. And then, like, what happened next? I don't know. The only know is he had to get his stomach pumped, and everyone felt bad for him. And I did too, trust me. But I remember explicitly he did kind of calls it upon himself, in the sense that, like, not in the sense that he did the drugs. Like, kids, drugs are bad. I mean, eating candy. But he was told explicitly not to do it, like, this amount of times. But he, at that point in time, he was that kind of, look at me and how great I am kind of person. I get all the girls. And I know. And not as an insult. I don't want to seem like I'm making fun of him. But he was kind of like that at that point in time. So he thought he could go farther than that. So he went past the limit, and there he goes, just to the ground.
I didn't see it happen.
I had to witness him just basically sway back and forth, look down, and then fell on the ground. He went down face first.
But the other person that we knew that worked there that ate the candy came up to me and told me there was spiders in his hair.
Oh, hey, Jesus. Don't you remember being punched in the face, actually?
Yes, I got punched in the face. I jumped out in front of...
No, describe the place you worked at.
I worked in the mad scientist room.
Inside the haunted
mill. I was the
mill.
mad scientist. And there was stairs right before the mad scientist room. This guy was coming up the stairs. I was hiding behind this wall. And as soon as he came, I jumped out in front of him and he punched me in the face.
He gave you a bloody nose, didn't he?
Yes. And I took my mask off and was very unprofessional about it and told him to get the fuck out.
Understandably so.
And there was another guy before you worked there when me and Taylor worked there.
Oh.
And Taylor used to stand, when we worked in the barber shop, Taylor used to stand up on that, near the top of the barber shop, how there were stairs. She used to stand up there and jump down.
Oh, wow.
And there was a man and his son came through and she jumped down in front of him. The man fell to the ground and started crying. And the son just stood there and laughed. And Taylor peed herself.
She does that all the time. Taylor, back when she was a teenager and even younger than that, she peed. Every time she just let out a little chuckle. Burst of liquids came out from her body. Every time she'd sleep over, she'd have to bring like an extra pair of jeans. Every time she went to school, she had to bring an extra pair of jeans.
Yeah, she did pee a lot.
Yeah, she did. I remember one time I witnessed it. You guys were playing on the scooter, the electric scooter, and then you crashed or something, and then all I hear is from Taylor, I peed! And I see this big puddle. She runs back inside. She was laughing the entire time, so it's not like she was embarrassed. Oh, she probably was embarrassed.
She got used to peeing.
Don't break my eraser in half. I don't have that many of those. Yeah, she got used to that. There were other stories of the Haunted Mill. When I worked there, when Kim was very professional about it. She would have a meeting every week, tell us what we were doing right and wrong, how we could improve. She was better than a lot of other people, but my problem was that working in a Haunted Mill as a teenager is your best experience, because there are actually going to be people also as teenagers, working there. Some people that you know. You go ahead and do that as an adult, unless you go with a buddy, then you're not going to recognize anyone. Mina didn't know that you could actually get paid there now. Originally, it was just volunteer, and you got a certain amount of money at the ends. Now it's that you get paid every week. You didn't know that until I officially got hired, and you're like, damn it. Fuck. You could have been paid to be the mad scientist again.
They wouldn't have gave me that job again. I doubt it.
Yeah, they probably would have given you somewhere else. They didn't let you choose where to go. I mean, I don't think they did in the first place. But now it's literally just because of how professional Kim was. She saw what you could do. She saw your costume and told you where you could go. I wore my suit that I used for the Butler of Time and a mask that I got from that mask store down the street. And she told me I could be a good mortician. So I was literally the first person you ran into in the House of Eyes for a while. And oh my god, this pissed me off. This one guy came in all by his lonesome. What happened was that, when someone comes in, I'm supposed to just stand up and sort of spook them. They come from behind a wall. They don't see me yet. And if I just play it just right, I could look like a prop. So I jump right up and yell, "Pay your respects," or something like that. I said that to the guy. I yelled, "Pay your respects." He just stands there, stops, turns his head and says, "You know I was at a funeral, right?" "No, I don't. I don't even know you. Why would you come if you didn't want to be reminded of death after you just went to... I'm sorry, you lost someone important to you. But if you came to... If you just left a funeral and you came to a place called the Haunted Mill, you should kind of expect a reference of death. If you don't want to deal with references of death right after leaving a funeral, why did you come?" That just lacks common sense right there. And that's... And before anyone says, like, "Oh, maybe someone brought him," no, he was all by himself. Literally, the dude walked in, all by his lonesome. And you could say, "Oh, that's his way of coping," but you can't really get mad at someone for working in a place where death is going to be referenced a lot.
Right.
And he was gonna... I thought he was gonna punch me right in the nose. Oh my god. It was still a fun time. I quit. I didn't tell Kim I was quitting. I just kind of decided not to come back. There was 1 week of payment I didn't get. Because I was too afraid to show my face. After, like, you know, quitting and not telling anyone. Not that they'd give it to me now. Because for one, the Haunted Mill's not open, and two, it'd be 2 years too late.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of thought about, like, bringing the camera in and doing a video there. But because of how dark it is and all the loud sound effects, it wouldn't have worked. I remember I tried to bring... Oh my god, there was a video we made at the Haunted Mill, the Organization 13 thing.
Uh-huh.
We did a series called Life in Organization 13. And it was just me cosplaying as different members of Organization 13, badly, mind you, and just dicking around doing unscripted comedy skits. It was all horrible. One time I was Zexion at the Haunted Mill, and I was just dicking around with a lot of friends, and another video that I wanted to make never got released because I lost the files. It was Tug the Penguin, or at the time, Mr. Tuggles, at the Haunted Mill. And one of the gags that... I met this in the year 2012. There was this nice guy. He worked in the room next to me. He would do this joke where he just walks up to people talking and go, "Shh, everybody shut up." So I kind of did it with him, with Tug, and he looks at me for a second all confused, immediately grabs him and throws him to the ground. Jokingly, obviously. Not, like, serious. But that video never got released because I think I was being lazy, or either that or the computer immediately broke the next day. Because our computers tend to break a lot. Mainly because I didn't know how to clear cookies, and I went to sketchy websites. Now I know.
Like watching porn?
No. Yes. But don't tell anybody that. I want to be professional. Shush. Anyway. I don't think there's any other remarkable stories from the Haunted Mill.
I don't think so.
Wasn't there like a... I'm trying to remember. Something happened to you one of the years I worked there. All I know is, yeah. When it got cold at the end of October, oh my god, it was miserable. We didn't have, like, sweat jackets or everything. We just had our costumes.
I brought blankets.
Oh, good for you. I was freezing. I had a pleather Organization 13 coat that I used for 2011. Still got cold as shit. I remember I broke my Freddy Krueger claw that I brought in that one year. Because I was doing a thing like, where he brings his arm up, but I accidentally hit some guy's face. Of course, I apologized profusely. I broke character just for that. And then, snap, there it goes.